Welcome to Workstyle Stories, because life changes and every life is different. This week I'm talking about being true to yourself, being individual, no matter how much that might disgruntle the people you work with or rub up against the system. And who better to do that than the one and only David Roberts, who's with me today. Hi, David.
Hello, the one and only disgruntling David Roberts. It's a lovely introduction. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. So, David, before we get into the chat, tell me a little bit about who you are, where in the world you are, and what you do.
I'm in Lisbon. I've been out here, Lisbon in Portugal. I can see the bridge just through the window there. I've been out here for 12 years now. I'm on my way to being half Portuguese. I've got two kids who are entirely half Portuguese, if that makes any sense. I am an editorial content director. It's probably the best badge I can put on myself. My background is magazines. I've spent the last 10, 15 years working in content marketing. And I've been freelance for the past 11 or 12 years of that, and making the most of it, I hope.
That's awesome. So you're a seasoned freelancer, and even before you went sort of officially freelance, you kind of were someone who worked more or less to their own schedule and with their own sense of responsibility for when that work's going to be done. Is that fair?
I suppose so. Yes, I suppose so. I think I've always been quite lucky with work. I'm not someone who went freelance because I couldn't stand the world of work, because I couldn't cope with the 9 to 5, because I didn't have a revelation and realize that everything had to change. I've been quite lucky. I had managed most of the time, pretty much all the time, to make the things that I was doing fit around me. I think, and as I say, I think I was just lucky. You talked about, I can't remember exactly the word you used, but I guess I was a bit awkward. I could be a bit awkward. You'll be surprised to hear this. I can still sometimes be a bit awkward. I remember the first proper job I had after university. Well, I was a chauffeur for about 6 months, but after that, the first proper job I had was in a record shop. It was in the Virgin Mega Store at Mile.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which is a great store. It was a lovely job. And I was in my early 20s, and I would sit behind the till, and if somebody brought a record along that I didn't think they should be buying, I would send them away again. And I would tell them...
Why?
Because this is the Virgin Megastore. Buy a decent record. If you're going to buy, come back with something else that's good as well. And that's the sort of thing that you'd expect people to frown upon, for you not to get away with. But
absolutely,
the management loved it. The other people I worked with loved it. It was kind of worked. And then I worked at a record company after that. Soon after that, I started managing a band, and I've always been lucky with the places that I've worked. My last proper job, if I don't know if that's the right way to describe it, was with a big content marketing agency in London. And the interview I had for that job, I think the last thing I said in the interview was, "Oh, by the way, I don't start before 10 o'clock in the morning." And I knew that everyone there started at 9:30 because I'd been doing some freelance work there, coming in at 10 for doing some freelance work. And I was told later that one of the reasons they gave me the job was because they liked that I'd said, "By the way, I don't start till 10 o'clock in the morning," which again, I just kind of got away with it. I was kind of lucky.
It is lucky, but I'm one of those people who believe you make your own luck, and it sounds to me like you chose to align with companies who would enable you to get away with being more true to yourself than necessarily asking you to conform to their way of doing things. I mean, I never tried to buy a record in Virgin Megastore in Marble Arch, but I bet if I did, I'd have been sent walking around the store for hours on end, because I used to listen to some terrible music. But
I believe it, Alex. I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll share my collection with you at some point, David. But what I'm most interested about is that you've had this ability in that situation and in starting at 10 when everyone else starts at 9:30 to stay true to who you are. And I think that is one of the things that people really struggle with in the work environment is being authentic to themselves. And the more that people adopt the kind of corporate way, the more they lose touch with who they are as an individual. And it's something that we talk about quite a lot at Hoxby, which is about almost everyone has to go on this journey of decorporification, where they lose their corporate self and rediscover who they are as a person. Because what we're trying to do is enable people to live a whole life, and for work to be a really positive part of that. And it sounds to me like you've always done that. And you've been fortunate to find places that will allow you to be you, for better or worse. So what I'm interested in with you now then, David, so you talk to me about your work style now. So you're still being authentically you and delivering your best work. What's your work style like?
Well, before I tell you about my work style, I guess it's worth saying that your very flattering portrait, if your very flattering portrait is true, then it's also worth pointing out, it's also worth mentioning that it's only recently that I've come to do those things guilt-free. So
okay.
I might have been the bullshit little, whatever, who sent people away at the till, and I kind of thought it was fun, I thought it was cool, but I kind of knew I shouldn't be doing it. And the 10 o'clock in the morning thing, I'd be the last one in, and everyone would have been there since 9:30, standing in the kitchen, talking, doing their work, but they'd have been doing that. And I would, I would kind of feel bad about it. And it's only been recently as I have freelanced for an extended period, and as I have come to work with the likes of Hoxby, and I've come to realize and to embrace this idea of work style being something that allows you to bring out the best of yourself without feeling bad about doing things differently from other people, because everybody works differently to get the best out of themselves. So it's not like I was a pioneer. I was an awkward little bugger who kind of felt bad about being an awkward bugger. But now I'm kind of getting away with it and feeling okay about it as well.
Yeah. You're doing it without the hangover of guilt. So that's brilliant. So what are you doing now then? Guilt-free. How does work fit into life?
It fits. I'm here in Lisbon, as I mentioned. I've got two small children. I've got a 4-year-old who's keeping me up way too much last night, and a 7-year-old.
Doesn't show.
Yes, a 7-year-old. And I had kids pretty late. You can see. Just look. I've had kids pretty late.
Really late.
I've come to a stage in my life where I need to earn a certain amount of money to provide the sorts of things that in the life that I want to give the kids. But I want to do it in a way that allows me to be properly present to them. And obviously, again, I'm not unique in that. I am part of a partnership. My wife has a regular job, and her job is much more orthodox. So she works for a big multinational, and she works 9 to 5. She's working at home at the moment, but she works 9 to 5. If one of us is going to be flexible, that's going to be me. And I'm kind of lucky about that. I'm lucky about that. I feel lucky with that because it gives me the chance to be with the children. It's not good for them, obviously, but it's good for me. It gives me the chance to be with them. And it allows, as a team, it allows us to make things work in a way that allows things as they should be in this modern world, as it wasn't when I was a kid, but there you go, that's why I'm an awkward bugger. Allows things to be entirely child-centered. So
great.
What Workstyle gives to me is allows me to live a life that puts what I have at the most valuable thing in my life at the heart of my life. Simple as that.
Well said, David. And on that note, we should probably wrap up because we've run out of time. But I could talk to you for hours about it. Good on you for being an awkward bugger and for blazing the trail for everyone else. And God help anyone who goes into your record story in the future. Thanks very much for tuning in. We've been Workstyle Stories. We'll see you next time.
Ciao, ciao.